We want to go now to the Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf. He joins us from FEMA headquarters here in Washington. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I want to ask you about what is going on in Portland overnight. We saw a man there killed during dueling demonstrations between a pro-Trump caravan and Black Lives Matter activists. Given the situation, which seems very tense, will the Trump administration ask for everyone, including those pro-Trump supporters, to pull back?
Well, we've been asking Portland to do their job really for over 3 months now. What you see in Portland is an environment. They foster an environment. They foster an environment of this lawlessness and chaos. We've been asking the governor and others to send in the National Guard to address the violence so that you don't have dueling demonstrations. You don't have this violence that occurs night after night after night on the streets of Portland. So we need them to do their job. We need them to step up, and if they can't or they don't have the ability or the resources, ask the federal government. We'll provide those resources, as we've done in Wisconsin and others, so that we can address any violence across the spectrum.
But I hear what you're saying, but the president has tweeted about Portland 12 times in the past 48 hours, including retweeting a video of his supporters, people with Trump flags flying, driving into Portland, and he called them great patriots. Doesn't that heighten tension when you say you're trying to lower it?
Absolutely not. I think what we see in Portland and various other cities
endorse this, as the president appears to be doing?
Local officials not doing their job and protecting the people of those communities. And what we've seen in Portland is almost 3 months of allowing individuals to come in night after night and set fire to government buildings with little to no consequences. So are you saying
that the local officials have failed to stop the Trump supporters from driving into Portland? Because the president seems to be endorsing them doing so.
They have failed to protect their communities, specifically in Portland. And we've seen that. We have over 90 arrests, 74 different criminal citations that the FBI is pursuing against individuals. We need Portland to step up, bring this violence to a close, and I think you'll see a lot of this go away.
Okay, it sounds then like you're asking Portland officials to crack down on the Trump supporters too. If that's not what you mean, please clarify. The president said... Go ahead, sorry.
I'm asking Portland officials, so that's the mayor, that's the governor, and that's local law enforcement, to do their job to address any violent activity that is occurring in their streets. As soon as they do that, again, we'll see that, as we've seen in Wisconsin and other places. We'll see the violence go down to almost zero, and this will address the issue that Portland has been dealing with for 3 months, that the citizens in Portland have been dealing with for over 3 months. It's time to end the lawlessness and the chaos that we see in Portland.
The president said Friday at his New Hampshire rally that he's been discussing invoking the Insurrection Act to deal with Wisconsin. He's mentioned things about Portland as well. You've been in the room when the president has discussed using the Insurrection Act in the past. Do you support its use now to send in active duty military to American cities?
Again, I'm not going to get in front of the president on any decisions that he may or may not make.
I'm not asking about the president's decision. I'm asking what you support.
I have been in a number of decisions and a number of meetings where we have addressed and talked about the violence that's going on in a number of cities around this country, including Portland, but also Wisconsin, Chicago, Atlanta, and other cities. And the president's been very clear. I think he's made numerous public statements of asking state and local officials to do their job, and if they can't, request assistance from the federal government. Department of Justice will send assets. The department will send assets if there's federal facilities or federal law enforcement officers being targeted, and we will help them and provide assets and resources that they don't have.
Okay, that sounds like no, since that would be seeking consent of the governor and local officials. It sounds like you're saying no, you don't support the Insurrection Act. If that's not the case, please clarify.
Margaret, what I tell you is, I'm not going to get in front of the president. What I support is making sure that we bring this violence in a number of these cities around the country to an end.
I also want to ask you about what's going on with election security. DHS is the primary federal agency tasked with overseeing election security. Will your agency continue to brief both houses of Congress on election security?
Absolutely. We've done that over 25 times. Yes, Margaret. Again, if I can answer, absolutely. We've done that over 25 times in the last 2 months. We have briefings, in-person briefings set up this week for the Senate and the House, and we have another 8 or 9 scheduled between now and the election. Again, I think what people need to differentiate between what the department does and what the intelligence community does. The department, DHS, through our CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, we're focused on cyber threats targeting election infrastructure. And we're going to continue to work with our secretaries of state around the country, but also brief members of Congress. A lot of the information that the department deals with is in an unclassified nature. And so we're happy to continue to share the good work that we're doing to try to secure those systems ahead of the November elections.
As you know, the Director of National Intelligence informed Congress that he will not brief in person at least members of the House on election security as it relates to foreign interference. Given that you say it is a concern to protect the integrity of elections, why are you limiting information flow to elected lawmakers?
Again, the DNI statement that he put out, again, they deal with classified intelligence.
I understand.
And his concern is the leak of that classified intelligence. They're going to continue to provide Congress all the information they need in a written, finished intelligence product so that Congress can have the information they need to do their oversight responsibilities. So this is not about limiting access. This is about providing the information to Congress. They're going to do that in a different format.
But you feel comfortable sharing classified information with members of Congress?
Again, the information that we share with Congress, that we brief with Congress, is almost exclusively unclassified information. And again, it's about cyber threats to election infrastructure, different from the foreign interference or disinformation campaigns that the intelligence communities and others are dealing with.
Secretary Wolf, thank you very much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.